Greetings, everybody, and welcome back. I am the creator of Quest for Lubach, and today I would like to thank you all for joining me here today. Well, I'm getting kind of used to talking to you guys. I'm a little nervous still. I don't know what to say exactly, but you know what? I'm going to talk to you guys about version 1.1. Now, version 1.1 is the new updated version of Quest for Lubach. If you haven't read any of my articles or watched, not articles, blogs, or watched my previous video, Quest for Lubach is a text adventure or interactive fiction, depending on your cup of tea, set in the genre of fantasy, where you must rid the land of the dark prince known as Lubach. And I decided to do these videos once a week. So every Friday, I'll be putting a video up and just discussing the game, just discussing some of my, just to hang out and just chat, right? Because there's not a lot of fun stuff out there in the world. There's a lot of people suffering, and it's just terrible stuff. It's really depressing. And so with that being said, welcome to the show. See, I'm still trying to get the hang of this whole setup. And actually, today was actually a very nice day. I was actually able to go to see my daughter's graduation. She graduated kindergarten. And it was so nice to see my little girl go up and get her diploma. It was very touching and very moving. To think that I have children that are growing up in this world, it's a little bit scary, but just think about what our parents thought or what our parents went through when we were kids, right? There are so many times when I'm just thinking to myself, like, I can't understand just what is going on in this world, that we're raising our kids. And I guess maybe that's why, like, I'm trying to get my kids into camping and going outside and playing sports and whatnot. My son, who is 8 years old, really is into soccer. I was never really into soccer growing up as a kid. I was more into baseball. But, I'm willing to, run around a field and kick a ball. Why not, right? It's good exercise. It's fun. This Friday, well, coming up, is Canada Day. As you guys know, I'm recording this one a little bit early because I know for a fact I'm going to be out all day Canada Day, and that's July 1st. So I decided to do this episode a little bit early because I know for a fact the moment this episode gets uploaded, I'm going to be at many a barbecues, many a picnics, and just enjoying the warm weather. It's supposed to be like 22 degrees Celsius, which is actually really nice, especially for Edmonton. For the past couple of weeks, it's been nothing but rain, which does kind of make for a lackluster summer. But, with the whole thing going on with Quest for Lubach, it's a Q-basic game. See, I got off topic again. You see, I'm really bad for this. So it's a game made in Q-basic, text adventure. And basically, version 1.1 is something that I actually thought it'd be a great idea to release the game in phases. I got a notebook here that I'm going through, and phase 1.1 is basically version 1.1, so basically that's phase 2, is the cemetery and the village. And that was released Sunday? I want to say Sunday. It was a fun thing to do. I loved it. I just added more rooms, more paths to take, some more characters. There's a statue, and it's just a fun little thing where you could go wander around and explore a haunted cemetery, or take a path down to a trek down to the local village, or what was the local village before Prince Lubach took over. And it's a very nice element to it. Like, yeah, okay, it's not totally fleshed out, and yeah, there's some grammatical errors and whatnot in the descriptions of the rooms and all that fun stuff. But you know what, though? I could always build off that. I could always expand it. It's a computer program, it's not like it's a book, where if you have a bunch of misspellings or whatnot in a book, you look completely unprofessional. And in this case, I can just say, well, I'll release an update. And you see, it saves me a lot of hassle, or looking foolish, but I digress on that one. But I am currently working on another version update, which will be 1.2, I think. Yeah, I think 1.2 or 1.2, which will be a lot of fun. I think it'll be a nice little touch because we already have the main hall of the castle. We already have the let's see. We already have the main hall. We've got the dungeon and the clock tower, and we have the village and the graveyard. So phase 3 is more along the lines of exploring the castle, where there's a lot of hidden passageways, there's a lot of hidden locations, a lot of hidden characters. There'll be a few ghosts and a few ghouls and a lot of just really neat character elements from the genre of fantasy within this place, where the player could actually feel alive, could keep the player on their feet. And that's the main thing. Like with 1.1, I changed a lot. I changed the title screen for the story. I changed the ending screen for when the player wins. I changed the help menu. I rehauled the help menu, actually. Made it look a lot neater, made it look a lot more professional, a lot more cozier. By that I mean it looks a lot more fleshed out. I just wanted to kind of sound unique there. And the item menu, I've kind of touched that up a little bit. I want to do a little bit more with it, just for the sole purpose that I just think it'll be a lot more cooler to actually have it look more like an old school game. You'll see this in the screenshots that I'm showing here below, that you'll see a lot of the old stuff, how I made it look, because I'm honestly just really enthralled with it. It looks like an old school game. Like, it looks like something you'd find like on an old board game or something like that. The kind of the heroic font in the beginning, gather around, and always expanding, always moving forward, always telling a good story. I'm not the best storyteller in the world. I'm not even, the greatest programmer in the world, I'm just the guy who wants to tell his story in a programming language that many people believe to be completely obsolete, because that's what I learned to do when I was a kid. I don't want to go out and learn like a new vast language and just go about like that. I guess I could, but I don't really have the time. I know it sounds pretty weak to say that, but it's one of the things in my life where I know how to do it like this. I know how to do this. I'm just going to put it out like this. And if anybody wants to change it and make it unique, make it their own thing, all I ask for is just recognition. And just let me know where it is, because that'd be pretty cool. I've been looking through a lot of the stuff on Reddit and a lot of websites and whatnot, and it's a lot of fun seeing what people make. There's a vast world on GitHub on text user interface games, and you find that to be a lot of fun. Like, I like the graphical stuff too, but like, for whatever reason, growing up as a kid, not with much. Oh, and there goes the cat, and he's stuck. Oh no, the cat's out. It's just one of those things where, you kind of just think to yourself, boy, this is fun. And that's what I get from Quest for Lubach. It's just something I made for fun, In schools today, they're still teaching kids how to use QBasic, and I think, if anybody out there who's learning to use QBasic or wants to learn more about QBasic, there's a vast source on archive.org. And you could always just look at my game too, which I was contemplating putting up there on archive.org, but I don't know. Like, GitHub's good enough for me, I think. I'm just a tender little feather in this crazy, crazy world. But with the expansion of the castle comes the expansion of other characters, which comes upon more of a sleek design and more of an amazing story that comes with it. Now, before I said, if you read my last blog post over at questforlubach.org, .org, which will be linked in the description below. I'm growing on a lot of stuff. This game will never be really finished. It's kind of the same style as if you really think about like the special editions of Star Wars. See, I'm already dating myself, but when you look at the special editions, right, they always change. Every new version on any new medium that came out was always the same. Well, never the same. It always changed, right? Like a little change here, a little change there. It's something that'll never end, and that's the best part. Well, not for the Star Wars sequel movies, but for Quest for Lubach, because it's like a sculpture. I'll put out what I have here, and then I'll come back to it and chisel a little bit more off for the ankles, and then grow and grow and grow from there until I have a whole marble army of statues that'll probably come to me in my sleep and kill me or something like that. I don't know. Like that movie Mannequin. But it's just one of the few things that I find is really enjoyable about life, Seeing my little girl go up there and get her little diploma for graduating kindergarten. That just touched me, I was just like, wow. In another, 13 years, 12, 13 years, she's going to be 18, and that's going to be it. It's fascinating. It's almost as if time just keeps moving by no matter what. Time may change me, but I can't change time. To quote the great David Bowie. And I guess that's why I'm doing this, It'll be my legacy, I can give it to my kids. I can show my kids. It's one of the things that really makes you think. Where were you in kindergarten, What kind of life did you have while you were in kindergarten or grade 1 or grade 2? Did you know everything that was going on in your parents' lives? No. That's life for you. It's crazy. When I was 5 years old and just finished kindergarten, I was playing Donkey Kong on the Atari 2600 or the NES, just trying to take my mind off stuff and just go have fun and go on adventures. It's crazy when you think about it. But at that time, I was out east. I wasn't in Yellowknife at that point, but it's crazy how happy-go-lucky you are when you're that age. Like, I seen a lot of kids that said, it's funny because it was like, they would hold a sign, and it's like, what do you want to do when you grow up, right? And, there's nothing wrong with it. Some people are like, some kids are like, a mechanic or work at McDonald's or something, it was fun. It was cute, It's funny because growing up for my generation, they always made it sound like, McDonald's, that's where the losers go. And it's like, no, that's actually not true. Those are the people that are trying to work hard to actually put food on their table for their families or for themselves. There are no loser jobs in life. I don't think there's ever a job, for losers. That's the greatest insult of all, is when you hear people talk like that, because it just creates a great divide. And growing up as a child, I saw a lot of that. I'm very observant. I was very observant as a child. And it was just one of those things in my life where I just like kind of shook my head at. Because, you always hear people always talk down about other people, or always talk down to other people in other industries, like customer service especially. I could never do customer service. Those people get put through the ringer like there's no tomorrow. And it's completely absurd. Just how rude some people are to others just because they have some kind of God complex, thinking they're better than everybody. And I've seen it all the time. I see it almost every day when I go to the convenience store down the street or go to McDonald's or whatever, right? Especially Walmart. Those people don't get treated right at all, At least treat people the way you want to be treated is all I'm going to say about that. But seeing my daughter go up there, it made me think a lot about my life, It made me think a lot about the time that I had passed by, the time that I spent, just playing video games, going out with my friends, building forts, going by the old river and, looking at all the shopping carts that got thrown in there. it's something that really changes your perspective. There are days where I wonder what I'm even doing, at my job, or coming home. I'm always exhausted and I can't really spend a lot of time with the kids because I'm so tired, and it makes me feel guilty. Now more than ever, knowing that my kids are growing up faster than ever, it's something that I'll never forget, and that's why I believe I'm making this game, is because I want to give something to my kids. I want to teach them how to make their own games, or teach them how to create something on their very own. Even if it's in a dead programming language, they could always learn something else down the road. But just knowing that I gave them that building block is something that makes me feel a great sense of joy and accomplishment. And that's why I take this very seriously, because it's something that I honestly do believe in. You should teach your kids right from wrong. You should teach your kids how to read, or, how to build and how to go out and explore and all this fun stuff. Like this summer alone on Canada Day, Canada Days, for instance, we're going to have a fire and roast sausages and hot dogs, and, go on a hike and watch the fireworks. And it's going to be a lot of fun. No matter where you are in this world, it could always be worse, is what I'm trying to say. And your hobbies, your whatever it is you like to do, if it's writing a book, or programming a text adventure in a dead language, go out and do it. You're doing this for yourself. You're doing this for your loved ones, to prove to them and to prove to everybody that you could accomplish something. And that's the main goal in life. And that's the main goal with me with Quest for Lubach. I'm not making this to put this on Steam. I would never want to put it on Steam. All the garbage on there. But it's just one of the things in life that I really think would be a lot of fun to do, is just make a game, put it on QBasic. Well, have it on QBasic and put it on GitHub and make these videos discussing it. I know this video is just more about me just reflecting on stuff on my minds. Basically, version 1.1. I'll link it in the description below. It's just a nice little fill-in. It's a nice little extra 100 rooms of just wandering around and exploring. Because games don't have to be violent. Now, I'm not one of those people that say, ban all violent video games or whatnot. Heck, when I was a kid, my parents let me play Doom and Hexen and, Blood. And Blood was a really good game. I used to play the crud out of Blood. But, growing up, I got into other games, like Myst, another one, and Zork, and, all these other great games. And you don't really need to kill anything, there doesn't need to be blood and guts and explosions and just violence here and there and everywhere, you don't need that. A game could be fun just by exploring, just looking around and just seeing this vast landscape that the writer created. And that's what I'm going with this. This isn't about me trying to be famous on anything. I'm trying not to be famous on it. I don't want to be famous. I just want to make a game that's fun, that you could sit down and just unwind after a stressful day and learn from it. Take the engine, run with it, learn it, modify it. It's on GitHub right now. If you want to go play Quest for Lubach version 1.0 or 1.1, go for it. It's on there for free. I would love to see other people's interpretations of it. I think it would be a lot of fun. And, with that being said, a video a week, a couple blog posts a week, working on the game whenever I have time. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be great. I'm already planning stuff ahead for, phase 5, for goodness sakes. It's something that I really like to do, and I really hope you guys have fun on this journey with me. It's about a learning experience. It's about trying to find something that was once lost within our very own selves, I guess. But with that being said, that's the end of the episode. Thank you so much for joining me here today. Thank you so much for listening to me ramble on about what I think about life and Quest for Lubach, and version 1.1. If you haven't already checked it out, go check it out. The GitHub link is down below. Don't forget to go to check out my website, follow it. It's questforlubach.org. Follow me on Twitter, Gora Remington, And there's also a subreddit or something like that I created just for fun. I don't know what I'm going to do with that. Reddit kind of scares me in some places. But anyways, with that being said, thank you so much. You could like this video, you could tell your friends, you could spread the word, or you could subscribe. Either or. Thank you for joining me here today. With that being said, have a wonderful day and have a great Canada Day and a great long weekend. Stay safe, people. Bye.